Nana Otenkranche II, Nananom, President of Ashesi, Dr. Patrick Ewa, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the making of history. For over a decade, Ashesi has used the raw material of a world-class education to produce leaders who fully embody the core principles of scholarship, leadership, and citizenship. Each year, a batch of these students are celebrated on Commencement Day in recognition of their efforts on the pursuit of academic excellence. But today, the 2019 family and I are not here simply to receive academic accolades, but to be properly acknowledged for our boldness in being the first ever graduating class of Ashesi engineering students. The first class of graduates to experience Commencement Day at Ashesi's state-of-the-art sports center. The first and best batch of students to ever take the Foundations of Design and Entrepreneurship course. And the first to ever throw ourselves a class party and not show up. It is our collective pleasure to welcome you all to the presence of pioneers. My name is Jean Ni Odate Quarcoopome, and I'm humbled to be the voice of my family, the class of 2019. When we first started out on this ethical and entrepreneurial leadership journey, we were naive, confused, and the guys were mostly beardless. Along the way, we failed. We fell. We feared that maybe we wouldn't get to this day. But each time, at just the moment when there was nothing left to hold on to, we held on to each other. And together, we made it. That is our story. Whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. These words, borrowed from Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, are usually quoted to throw a challenge to graduates and continuing students alike. Today, however, on behalf of the pioneering class of 2019, I take an unconventional approach and choose to borrow 4 words from this quote that do justice to telling the story of the class of 2019 while properly acknowledging the key stakeholders that contributed to the story. These words are genius, power, magic, and boldness. And so our story begins. And as one of our lecturers would usually ask before a deadly quiz, are you in the mood? Oh, Masa, are you sure you're in the mood? Well, this is not proper. Let's begin with genius. On every step of this journey, we have sat under the tutelage of professors who have shown us what genius is made of. It is a matter of fact that our faculty have intellectual talents that span beyond the scope of any syllabus or course content. But the most interesting aspect of their genius is their commitment to putting us in groups for everything except exams and final quizzes. Now, working with each other in groups in Ashesi is one of the hardest things to do, especially when some of us would only contribute by compiling the work of others, or taking the last slide of the presentation only to say, yeah, so they've said it all. Need I say more? In hindsight, we appreciate how our faculty designed these group projects to teach us the power of collaboration. Given the sad truth that our generation places no value on sharing ideas or opportunities with each other, our faculty did more than teach us a valuable life lesson. They made us better people, and that is genius. So to our faculty, we say thank you for shaping and sharing our story of togetherness. You stretched us, but the beauty of this moment proves it was all worth it. Our story continues with power, and here I'd like to talk about family. One of the most beautiful things of our class is our ability to turn friends into family. In the time we have spent together at Ashesi, we have grown attached to each other. Roommates cherished each other like brothers. And best friends found beauty in being sisters. Some attachments even flourished into relationships. Guys, come. Some attachments even flourished into relationships, proving that our togetherness was strong enough to lead us into love. That's powerful. The real power, however, belongs to the families who helped us to build our own. Today, we celebrate our parents, guardians, siblings, and family friends who embarked on this journey with us. The powers of their support, guidance, and their prayers were the blessings that sustained us and made sure we stayed part of the Ashesi community. To our families, we hope you are proud of who we have become today, and we promise to use everything we have learned to honor you. Speaking of honor, many people asked me why I wanted to be the class speaker. It's just a personal story. And the answer I would give was because I wanted to give something back to my parents. Every day for the past year, in my final year, I'd wake up to a text message from my dad saying, "We are praying with you, son." And a text message from my mom saying, "You are God's best child." My brother would always support me, telling me if he has made it, so can I. And my sister from many miles away would always tell me she's proud of who I am. So to my family, thank you so much. Whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Our story of togetherness has thus far spanned 2 chapters. First, the genius of our professors who trained us, and the support of our family. This 3rd chapter is about magic. In many ways, Ashesi is a different world, a place where anything is possible as long as you were prepared to work hard for it. There's a magic here that turns the wildest dreams into realities. A magic that first began when Patrick's dream to transform our continent one student at a time became a reality called Ashesi. Since then, that magic has attracted donors, strategic partners, members of staff, and students who have written their own story of togetherness by joining the Ashesi family. Today, these stakeholders continue to pass on the magic of turning dreams into realities. Now, my 2019 family and I know all about the crazy magic of dreams becoming realities. Our story of togetherness has made it possible for us to support each other entrepreneurially, no matter how wild the dream. Today, we shine a spotlight on classmates like Ezekiel Homeku, a member of the pioneering engineering class who now owns one of Ghana's finest menswear brands. And David Bueno, an information systems major who is telling beautiful stories of Africa through filmmaking. We also recognize Victor Hazel's Hilltop Radio, Eugene Jamu's Netro Electronics, Aisha Tujalo's She's the First Initiative, Milky Mountain by Gladys Enu and Mamekwa Hazel, and your class speaker's advertising agency, #Africa. I had to. Each of these dreams now exist as realities, thanks to the magic of Ashesi, a world where hard work meets opportunity to make the impossible possible. To the donors, partners, and staff of Ashesi, and to Patrick, we are grateful to you for creating the perfect setting where our story could come to life. Nana Otenkranche II, Nananom, President of Ashesi, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the end game now. And our story has reached its final chapter. It's time to talk about boldness. Truly, we have made history. Our pioneering spirit has made us the first batch of engineering students ever to graduate from Ashesi, and the first class to break ground at Ashesi's ultramodern sports center in celebration of Commencement Day. But the history we are making today is reminiscent of the history that was made 14 years ago. In December 2005, Ashesi celebrated the graduation of its first batch of students. Now, these are the original pioneers, the risk takers, the crazy ones, who were bold enough to set a remarkable precedent and pave the way in hopes that a class like ours would become the pioneers of our time. And we did. For some of us, when our story of togetherness first began, the only boldness we had was in being the first group to present in the Petty's FDE class. Or coming to class 5 minutes after it had started. For others, boldness became choosing the operations management exam question where you had to draw a whole house of quality. But today, as we celebrate the end of a rewarding journey, we must see boldness differently. From now on, boldness should no longer be about doing what no one else could ever do, but about doing what you thought you never could. Guys, it is no longer enough to be different from everyone else. We must be inwardly transformational, challenging ourselves before we challenge the world. And if this continent is ever going to feel the shake of our step, then we must step out of our comfort zones and become pioneers of a new kind of boldness. And we must do so the same way we have done everything together. Class of 2019, it has been an honor to have been chosen to tell our story of togetherness to the world today. Without a doubt, our boldness carries all the genius, power, and magic that is needed to transform our continent. So whatever we can do or dream we can, let us begin it together. Thank you.